in Michigan right now. I didn't film an intro this morning because it was super early, and I was just too lazy and tired, so I didn't do it. And then I was gonna do it at the airport, and then I was too lazy and tired, so I didn't do it then either. But we're here. You'll have seen in some of the clips that we went to a museum, Gerald R. Ford Museum. I'm in Grand Rapids specifically, just so you know. We're also going to a couple other cities that I'll take you along with me, but basically we're here because for 18 months I lived here. I'm doing a mission for my church, and so we're just revisiting. It's just me and my parents. We're just visiting to check out some of the fun tourist sites that I didn't really get to see, and just reliving old memories, and it's just fun. My parents are just chilling now. We're really tired. It's like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We're probably gonna just hang out the rest of the night, probably go to sleep. I did finish a book. I finished my audiobook on the plane, which is awesome, which I'll talk more about that for my Newts vlog when I get back home, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And I also made some progress in my other book, The Tenant of Wildville Hall, which is good. Again, I'll talk more about that in my Newts vlog after this trip because I don't want to do 2 vlogs at once. Anyway, so yeah, I'll just take you along with me, and tomorrow we're going to stay in Grand Rapids until the evening, when we're going to drive up to Petoskey and do some fun stuff up there for a couple days, and then we'll go to Bay City, Saginaw area, do fun things over there for a couple days if you know anything about Michigan, and then we'll fly out of Grand Rapids again at the end. So should be fun, and yeah. So we are in Ada, which is a part of my area for my mission. Basically, if you don't know, for missionaries in my church, we have like areas that we serve in, serve people, and then knock on doors and invite them to learn more if they so desire. So Ada was part of my area, and it's super pretty. They have such cute houses. So we're mostly just here to look at houses. Right now we're in like this cute little park right by the Thornapple River, which is beautiful. And then later we're gonna go up to Rockford, which is another small town that's really pretty and just has like a quaint feel. I know that there's a few different things to do up there. And so we're gonna go there. And then later today we're going to travel up to Petoskey, which is a way more touristy area. There's lots of stuff to do up there that I'm excited to do because I wasn't able to when I was up there. So anyway, so we're just kind of enjoying the sights. I'll film some of the cute houses just because they're cute. And yeah, so it's good. It's kind of a more chill vacation. The second half I feel like we'll have more like touristy things to do. Grand Rapids just overall is mostly for me just looking at the areas, but this is mine, no name. Dad's, he just returned to us, which is exciting. But yeah, these are really, there's just a lot of stuff on these things. I also like the way they do the pickles, if you can see that. They're like all shredded. So true. So we made it to Petoskey. You would have seen some lake clips from last night when we got here, and today we're going to Mackinac Island, which is a beautiful island. They actually don't allow cars there, so it's just horse and carriage, and then there's like the state park that you can hike around. We're going to be kind of looking through the town, getting some fudge, and going kayaking this afternoon, which should be fun. We might do a carriage tour this morning as well. And yeah, so I'll film all of that, and hopefully it will be good. I know it's supposed to be a little chillier out there between it being an island, and so there's wind and things like that, so hopefully my jacket will suffice. Muscles are so tired. Luckily they're not as sore as I expected them to be, but I definitely am feeling the kayaking from yesterday. But we are headed to Charlevoix, which is a super beautiful town. We're going to see the mushroom houses. They're kind of like little like fairy tale houses. People still live in them, so we can't like go inside or anything, but we'll see the outside, take some pictures and some footage, and then we'll just kind of look around the town, probably get breakfast there because we're all hungry before we do the mushroom houses, and then we'll go back to Petoskey and do a little bit there, and then we'll be heading down to Bay City. So should be fun. We have this beautiful lake view I'll show you in a second on the side. Sorry about the glare from, I don't even know what it is, but anyway, and it's just super gorgeous, and I'm excited to see Charlevoix. I only saw it like once or twice while I was here, so we kind of drove like halfway to it a couple times because there was someone we were working with that was like halfway down, but never really spent much time in Charlevoix, so it will be fun, and I will update you later. Haven't updated in a while, but we made it to Bay City last night. If you saw the toilet bowl statue that I filmed last night, that was, yes, that's a very interesting statue of Bay from Bay City, but we are currently in Cass City, which is in the thumb of Michigan, where we have some family history. So we're in a cemetery, if you can tell from behind me, and because we're seeing the graves of some of my ancestors that lived here, which is really cool. So I'll kind of show a few of those. Sorry, I thought. Anyway, so I'll show you a few of those, and yeah, it's super interesting because we've been learning a little bit about them on the way out, so. Hey guys, we are at Bronner's Christmas Wonderland in Frankenmuth, which is the largest Christmas store in the world, or at least in the US, maybe not the world, but I'm pretty sure it's the world. Anyway, but we are going through the Silent Night Chapel first, and then we'll go in. It's such a wonderful place, especially if you love Christmas like me. And then we'll also, there's a bunch of other little shops in Frankenmuth in this little German town that we'll go to as well a little later, but I will show you all the clips. Sorry if the lighting in Bronner's isn't great. I remember last time I was here, it was kind of hard to get good pictures because of the lighting in there, so I'll do my best, but no promises, you know? Hey guys, so I am back from my trip. I didn't vlog the last, coming home part because we got up super early and I just didn't see a need for it. I also I realized to film a lot of the other stores in Frankenmuth, so I'm sorry about that. But at least you saw the Christmas store. That was kind of the focus of Frankenmuth, so it's all good. But anyway, I'll kind of talk a little bit about some of the stores that I didn't film in a second because I did get some things from there. That's what I'm going to be doing in this little last portion, is just showing off the souvenirs I ended up getting. Most of these were gifts from my parents because they're wonderful. Minus I got a couple books from a used bookstore, so that, and then I paid half of a necklace that I got that I'll show you. But anyway, so my parents were just wonderful and were willing to get me a few things while we were there, and then I took care of the rest myself. But anyway, the first thing I ended up picking up, I can't really show you this super well, just because it's a poster and I want to keep it nice until I can get a frame, so I don't really want to pull it out of the packaging yet. But it's this poster, and you can kind of see some of the ships. It's of the Great Lakes, and it shows all the shipwrecks in the Great Lakes, which I'm fascinated by ships. I love it when books even just have a scene where they take place on a boat. I love being out in the ocean. I'm just obsessed with that stuff, and so shipwrecks I find fascinating. I don't want to say I think they're so cool because obviously people die, so it's not super cool, but the old shipwrecks that you're able to see in the bottom of the Great Lakes and the ocean, I find that fascinating, seeing documentaries about that. Anyway, so I just thought this was so cool, and my dad was kind enough to be willing to buy it for me. and I'm like obsessed with it. I'm gonna get a frame for it, and just, I can't hang it on my wall at school yet because I'm in an apartment, so I can't nail it to the wall, but I'll at least lean it up against, like, on a table or something, whatever I can find. But I'm so excited about it. The other thing I got in the same store, actually, up in Petoskey, they have, if you don't know, Michigan State Stone is the Petoskey Stone, which is basically like a fossil of coral. And as I've mentioned in my England-Scotland vlog, if you haven't seen that, I will link those down below. But I do collect keychains every time I go somewhere. So I already had a keychain of Michigan from when I lived there. And it was just of Michigan, and then it had a heart over Grand Rapids, which was where I lived first. But I ended up this time getting a keychain just of a Petoskey stone. If you can see that. Not super well. Anyway, it's so cool. I love Petoskey stones. So it's just a little one, and it's really cool. I considered getting a Petoskey stone necklace, but I was being honest with myself and recognized that I probably would not wear it very often, although I did end up getting a necklace. It's of something I'm more likely to wear, which I'll show you now. So in the other shops in Frankenmuth, they have this little shopping place that is super cute, and it has just these random but super cool stores. So they have like a fairy garden store, and then they have this store full of just like intense, like dark guy stuff. It doesn't have to be guy stuff, but like stuff like biker gangs and like steampunk stuff and like dragons, like super intense looking dark dragons with like daggers in them, and like a military section and NRA and like, so like that kind of stuff. So it was kind of random, but also like all with that like intense kind of dark focus. So there was a place like that. There was a jerky store. There was like a sock store, and then there was like a pet store, but not like buying pets. It's like where you can get a bunch of gear for your pets or like stuff for yourself that's like talking about how you love your pet, whatever. Anyway, it was like such a fun little shopping place, and I knew that they had an Irish store there, and so I was really wanting to go there, and so we did, and I ended up getting this necklace. If you can see it, it just has the Claddagh symbol and a Celtic knot, and I just really liked it. I actually used to have a Claddagh ring, if you know much about it. It basically represents love, loyalty, and friendship, and I had a Claddagh ring and I lost it, but I was like, honestly, I probably wear necklaces more than a ring, and I liked that this also had the Celtic knot on top, so I ended up picking this one up, and I really, really like it. So I've been wearing it ever since got it. Before we get to the books, we'll show you my last little thing. Then I wasn't going to get this actually, but my parents got a bunch of stuff for my siblings, and they got several t-shirts for them because there was this awesome t-shirt store in the shops, and they had a deal where you could buy two, so you could buy one, get the second one discounted, so it ended up being $30 total. And my mom had 5 shirts, and then she was like, do you want one? And so I was like, sure. So I ended up getting this one. It says Smitten with the Mitten and it's just so cute, and I also really like the color a lot, so I think I'm going to wear this quite a bit. This was like one of the sayings that I was like, I think if I get a t-shirt of Michigan, that's what I would want, is that quote, that saying on there. So, and then in that same shopping area, there was a used bookstore, which was really great. I love used bookstores, especially for getting classics, as I'm not super picky about the way my classics looks. I just kind of prefer to have them. I mean, I am picky, like if it's really ugly, I'll be like, I'll just wait. But I am a lot more willing to get less attractive covers in classics, just because I kind of like the feel of an old, like pre-read and owned classic, especially. It just adds to the experience for me. But anyway, ended up picking up 3 books there. So first of all, I got The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. This is a book I actually have already read, and I really, really loved it, and so I just wanted my own copy, and when I saw it, and it was a cover I actually liked the look of it, I decided to grab it. It was also like $4.50, yeah, so picked it up, and I'm sure I'll reread it in the future at some point because I really, really loved it. If you don't know what this is about, this basically follows, I feel like each chapter is kind of like its own short story, but it all like is about Mars and mankind arriving in Mars. And it's fascinating because by the end you end up kind of feeling what was the point of that, but really his purpose was to have this represent native peoples and lands that have been taken over by Europeans throughout history. That idea of we've lost so much understanding about their culture and the way they lived because they were killed off so fast between disease, and then they were kind of pushed off their lands, and now we just don't know much about a lot of those those native peoples in like the Americas and Australia, places like that. And so this talks about mankind coming into Mars, and so there's a lot of like, we get a little bit of information about the Martians, what they look like, some of their abilities, a little bit about their society, but there's so much by the end. There's still so much we don't know about the Martians, the reader doesn't know, and it's reflecting that idea, as I said, and I really, really liked it. I think I've read this one in Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and I think I liked this one a little bit better. I loved Fahrenheit 451 as well, but I think I like this one a little bit better, and I'm excited to have a copy of my own. Next, I picked up a book that I've kind of like in the back of my mind have thought a lot about, but I haven't really thought super intentionally about it, if that makes sense. But it's always been in the back of my mind, and I saw it and I was like, you know what, I am interested in this book. I'm just gonna get it. And again, it was like $5. So, and that is Waverley by Sir Walter Scott. This is the first historical novel, so the first historical fiction novel written in English. This follows the Jacobite rebellion in Scotland during the 1700s, and it follows Edward Waverley, hence the name, through some of his experiences with some of the Scotsmen, as he is an English soldier who is fighting against these Jacobites, and it just sounds really interesting, and I've really wanted to read a book about the Jacobite rebellion, especially since going to Scotland, and this is written by a Scottish man, so, you know, I feel like it will be a really good one. And the last one I have here, I actually don't know much about, but it was more for the sake of the author that I got it. And that is The Voyage Out by Virginia Woolf. This is one of Virginia Woolf's first novels. It sounded interesting. The first part of it takes place on a ship, and so like I mentioned, I really am obsessed with ships, and that's really a buzz phrase or word for me, is to have it take place on a ship, even just part of it. Anyway, and again, I really know very little about this book. However, it's one of her first books, which I feel like it's fun when you have the chance to start with an author's earlier works, because you'll go into them knowing they're probably not as good as some of their other works, but you'll get a feel for their writing style, and then you can see how they developed as writers throughout their experience, and I really liked that idea. Plus, I really like this cover a lot. It's just painted, and I like the spine. The color of the spine is like this pale blue. I just like the way this book looks. I'm really excited because I have really wanted to try Virginia Woolf's books. I just haven't been able to yet. So, sorry I also keep like leaning back. My back has been hurting today, and so I like kind of keep like sinking, and then I'll like sit up straight. Anyway, so sorry about that, but yes, I'm super excited about all of those books, and yeah, this trip was incredible. It was so fun. I wasn't able to see a ton of people from my mission just because we only had so much time, and there were a lot of locations I wanted to see, and I didn't want to take too much time to go just from house to house talking to everybody or anything like that, and I didn't really have a chance or time to like set up a meet and greet type thing with them in parks or anything like that. So I was able to see a few people on Sunday when I went to church in Bay City, and that was really awesome. A lot of them remembered me, which was very heartwarming, because sometimes it can be hard to feel like you'll be recognized, especially just because there's constantly missionaries coming in and out of every area, and so it gets easy to kind of have them blend together a little bit. Anyway, so it was really sweet. I also really just loved seeing Michigan. Michigan's such a beautiful state. If you don't know much about Michigan and have never been there, it seriously is like America's greatest kept secret. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful state. Madonna was actually born there. She was born in Bay City, and she has a house currently in Petoskey. A lot of other celebrities have been born there or gone to school there. And it's just such a beautiful state, like, honestly. And there's so much state pride. Like, everywhere you go, there's always, like, in all the Walmarts and everything, there's always just like a million t-shirts for like state pride, Michigan pride, and not just for the schools either, like for the state, or for the Great Lakes. Like, there's just so much, and it's so fun. I absolutely love it. I haven't experienced something like that in any other state I've ever been to. I mean, I've seen things for like cities and stuff, so like Boston obviously will have souvenir shops, things like that, but never for like a state. Just like the shape of the state makes it so, and the fact that it's surrounded by the Great Lakes, it just makes it so easy for people to make t-shirts and come up with fun phrases. And it was such a fun trip, as I've said. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye!